I enjoy some people.
Yeah.
I enjoy some people.
Oh, yeah.
Other people not so much, but that being said, I also don't know them, but I enjoy watching their fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I'm always game to throw in a good Letterkenny meme if it applies.
Did you see...
Or the airball meme, that was my favorite, when that one guy was hacking on whatever his name is, who does the right or left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He made that post and I just did the meme where the guy shoots the airball from the foul line.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this is sports and it's appropriate.
Yep. Anyways, did you see today someone posted something about the best college football teams in each state?
Yes.
And they had Michigan with Ohio State.
I did not see
and
that
someone,
on the map.
Someone tagged Kyle and he posted a GIF saying, it's true.
Well, I'm not going to hate him because he's not wrong.
Right. Oh, man. Kyle is my favorite Michigan fan.
Yeah, he's actually very tolerable and he's very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Where were we? Expanding
the playoffs for the NFL.
Yeah, go back to it.
But I just don't think that it's going to do as much as the NFL is trying to think it is if they're already complaining that they're losing viewership, which they're not.
No, but, the NFL's got to try a couple of different things. I mean, the NFL is slowly using viewership, but that's just because there's more avenues of shit to do and ways to keep in touch with the game. That's what was going to fucking happen. With TV dying, you could have seen this coming from miles away. So the NFL just needs to absorb that. You still make how many $1 billion a fucking year? Calm down. You're going to be fine.
You want to know how you get more people to watch your NFL product? Lower the price of Sunday NFL ticket and take away the exclusivity.
Exclusivity?
Yeah, the exclusivity with DirecTV. If you put that shit on other platforms, you would gain viewership. That's the easiest way to gain viewership. Because you have Raiders fans in New York that would absolutely pay to be able to see the Raiders play 16 times a year.
Well, that's the exact same argument that MLB fans have, because they're like, just let us be able to watch our games.
Blacked out.
Maybe if we speed up the game, it's like, no, just let us be able to watch our team.
Right. I get to see the A's, let's see, it's 3-4-3-2. It's 3 with Yankees, 4 Yankees, 3 Yankees, and then there's always 2 A's Red Sox games on TV. Pepper in the occasional White Sox game that they have for free.
You may be able to get every time they play the Red Sox just because you might get SNY.
Yeah.
Or not SNY, NESN, NESN, which is New England Sports Network, which is I believe on YouTube. You might want to check that.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
Just to let you know. It might be another avenue to catch another one.
Another tangent, sports related. James Dolan is interested in buying a stake in the New York Mets so that he can get control of SNY and merge them with MSG and then sell his stake in the Mets because he just wants to be able to have his TV station have baseball.
What a
how convoluted is that?
Madoff 2.0.
He doesn't want the Mets. He wants the rights to broadcast baseball. That's all it is. He does not care about the Mets. He wants to buy a part of them, gain access to their TV network, merge it with his TV network, and then sell his stake in the team.
What a twat.
Give me a stake in the Mets. I'll make that team so unwatchable.
Just give me steak.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't make the Mets worse.
I could.
I mean, the Mets are pretty bad on their own accord, and they try. Not to be bad. They actually try, and they're just bad.
Listen, Tim Tebow is actually playing pretty well.
Oh, I'm not hearing any of that nonsense. We're talking about football.
We are talking about
football.
How
did you get us on baseball?
I don't know. We went with so many tangents, and sorry, Dan O'Shea. Continue on, please.
You might want to talk about the Rangers now.
I don't even remember where we were. But I think...
Expanding the playoff.
Yeah, I think it's a money-making move. That's the core of it. Good or bad, we'll see. It's been a long time since the NFL has done something to change their playoffs. I think like almost 30 years. So it does feel stranger to NFL fans than to fans of other leagues that adapt more frequently. And there is potential that it could make for shoddier playoff games. But as I also said in our earlier discussion, Dan, I do think it has the potential to make week. I don't know if it'll still be week 17, maybe week 18 going forward. But the last week of the season could be more interesting. A lot of people tend to tune out because the seeding is almost finished at that point, except for maybe a couple of teams. The teams on top have their bye weeks and are just are sitting their starters. So if you've only got one bye spot for either conference, then the teams are probably all still vying in the final week of the season for higher seeding or for that bye. So that might make the last week of the season more watchable. You're going to have more fans engaged later in the season if their team has a shot at making the playoffs or is in the playoffs when they otherwise might not be. And I do agree with you that changing it for the better doesn't require expanding it.
Just change the seeding.
Yeah. As we said, get rid of the divisional seeding because it's ridiculous. Just a couple years ago, the Jets were 10-6 and missed out on a playoff spot, and I think someone in the NFC South was like
7-9. It was the Panthers.
7-8 and 8. And that's ridiculous. That should never happen. It makes the whole entire league look like a joke because what the hell's the point of putting together a decent team if it doesn't matter because you're in a division with a team that's a perennial champion like the freaking Patriots.
Honestly, I'd be fine with them being like, you know what? We're just going to take a strange approach. Top 12 teams go. Teams with the 12 best records.
Reasonable tiebreaker rules. That's fine. And that's where divisions could still play a role as tiebreakers. But the NHL did away with divisional seeding. The NBA did away with it, and it's long overdue for the NFL to follow suit.
I completely agree. One thing I will disagree with you on is what is the most exciting thing about the final week, or potentially exciting thing about the final week of the NFL season, when you have the Cowboys versus the Eagles, or the Bears versus the Giants, and whatever team wins this game gets that 6th seed.
Well, I mean,
it's
saw
less
it happen, a couple years ago when Andy Dalton single-handedly got the Bills to the playoffs?
Yeah.
By going fucking crazy daytime Dalton all of a sudden?
He's
like, don't worry, it's not at night, I fucking got this.
It's less interesting when the winner of this game will be the 6th seed and the loser's the 7th. They're both in.
That's his only career highlight, too, by the way, on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
But they both still be playing. I don't think either team would be comfortable resting if, they can get a higher seed out of it.
Right, but if
I
it's
don't know that it
unless I'm a
necessarily changes the scenario. It just bumps the scenario down that the 7th might have to win that game and might need help from somebody else to get them into it. I mean, I'll take another week of football. I'm not going to bitch about that.
Well, it's not necessarily that I'm against another week of football. I just don't think... I think adding another playoff team is putting a Band-Aid on a larger problem that the NFL is inventing on themselves. Like, they're self-diagnosing and then self-fixing a problem that does not exist.
I mean, that could be true, but, I mean, the NFL's fucking problem. They'll figure it out.
That's all it is.
Like I said to begin this, I don't know that this is the first thing that they should have addressed. I get why they're thinking this way, but that being said, there's other things they could have done before this, which I think is exactly what you're saying. It's just the NFL chooses to address this because, I don't know, for them, this is the easiest thing out in front of them.
The easiest thing in front of them, though, should be make the games more fun, more entertaining, and the way you do that is to have referees who know what they're fucking doing.
Well, I mean,
that should be their biggest focus.
That would help.
The XFL is getting it right with their referees. How can the NFL not?
Vegas.
How is the NFL, the AAF showed the NFL how to referee football. The AAF failed, but the NFL is still around and can't fucking do it? Like, you have referees who seem like they're guessing at what the rule is. Referees who seem like they're just arbitrarily making a ruling.
Well, I mean,
let's hear them talk through it. I want to hear the person in New York who's making that decision explain what they're seeing and why they're calling it the way they are.
Yeah, that would be ideal, but that opens a door that the NFL doesn't want to open. Because sometimes the NFL may be able to step in and make sure that the refs do as they're told and not as they're supposed to.
Just the big issue, if you actually think that you're losing fans, which you're not because attendance at games is up, all right, yeah, the cable numbers are down, but guess what? 32% of people in the past 5 years are going with an alternate streaming method and not cable or something like that. I don't know if that's the number. I saw that in an article today. It might not be accurate. I'm not claiming to be an accurate, podcast host. All right, but
some of the stuff I say is just downright lies.
You're not losing viewership if
you cannot trust us.
Yes. I am making shit up.
You can trust us for our opinions, but
according to this commercial that we just watched, John Cena's got a credit score of 709. Mine's better.
Fake news.
Anyways, like I said, I feel like the NFL's inventing
hasn't he been afford to pay off? He's got a 709. Figure it out.
Fucking engagement ring that you had to buy for fucking Nikki Bella.
Figure it out. Pull your finger out of your
alimony at this point?
Yeah, alimony. Yeah. Anyways, they're inventing this problem and thinking they're being smart and fixing this problem that doesn't exist. If you guys are over here watching football, they're not losing viewers. They're losing streams.
Yeah.
We still have 3 viewers. It's just not on 3 separate TVs.
Right. But I mean,
All right, more and more people are going to alternate methods. YouTube TV, DirecTV Now, Hulu, all of those, which I know for fact some streaming services do not get included in their viewership numbers.
True.
You're just behind the times, thinking that things like it's the end of the fucking world.
No, it's a refusal to adapt to something that's worked for you for so long. You probably initially thought it was a fad that would die out, but it's not a fad. At a certain point, it just becomes normal societal behavior, and you need to adapt, or you will suffer your ultimate fate, which is to die off. That's how this always works, and the NFL should know this by now. They pioneered shit with television and followed basically college football's back.
Also, make it more interactive. People like things that are going to keep their engagement.
Right.
Because
I agree with you, but the second that I start seeing scrolling from lollipop 19 on the bottom of my fucking game is the moment that I turn this shit off.
No,
I don't give a shit about what your opinion of the game from Kansas is.
I'm not talking about that necessarily, but like the XFL, all they did is they update the lines and shit in real time for gambling purposes. That's something they can do. That'd be really easy. They just have someone in connection with Vegas saying, "Hey, this is what it is now," and they update it.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, making it a more inclusive, encompassing experience is probably